see here. All right, we're live. See if this is working okay. So, the GameStop saga just keeps on unfolding, right? We see more news, more drama about this, and this is only good for Ethereum. This is only good for blockchain technology, and I want to talk about that today's stream, plus a lot of other things. So, if you're just joining me for the first time, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. And so this is a brand new format of video that I'm trying out. It's a live stream. We're doing these every day here at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you smash that like button down below. Turn on notifications. You'll learn about these as they come out. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, I want your feedback on these videos. And do you like these live streams? Leave a comment down below. So go ahead and drop your thoughts in the chat here. Awesome. Yeah, we got some people piling in here. So, all right, awesome. So let's talk about GameStop. So before we do, let's see here. Sorry, I have a little technical issue with my software. So we got the chats coming in. Yeah, screw the hedge funds. These lives are so dope. Awesome. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are digging it. So before we dig into this, if you're brand new around here, like I said, I'm Gregory. On this channel, I teach you how to become a blockchain master. If that's something that you're interested in, smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel. And if you want to become a blockchain master step by step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.bootcamp to get started today. So let's jump back into the GameStop saga because all this stuff just keeps unfolding. More drama about this. I'll do a quick recap of what's going on here. I'm not going to do this explanation like 100% justice. I'm going to oversimplify it on purpose just for time's sake. I might make a separate video about this actually if you guys want to know like how does this all work in depth, because I think it is important for you to understand because if you're in blockchain, if you're in DeFi, then an understanding of finance and what's going on in that world will help you connect the dots to see why blockchain technology is important. So if you want to see a separate video about this, like an in-depth video that explains like what a short squeeze is, what's going on in the stock market, like really specifically connect the dots on how blockchain fixes this, then let me know down in the comments below. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the live stream, which is basically, the GameStop stock has been pumping like crazy, right? So I'm going to pull this up on my screen here. So let me guys know if you can see this okay. So you can see it taking off like a rocket here. And basically a bunch of people were making a ton of money, and essentially a lot of the gatekeepers like stepped in and decided that they were going to try to end the party early, all right? Because they were losing out in this. So basically what's going on is you have this online community, Wall Street Bets, all right, that was kind of responsible for this. And so a really oversimplified version is that an online community is basically trying to pump this stock up in one direction while some insiders, more like hedge fund, are trying to push it down the other direction by shorting it, all right? And basically, as these online communities are able to coordinate and put pressure on these hedge funds who are trying to short this stock, which basically means they just borrow it and then instantly sell it in anticipating of it crashing and trying to buy it back at a lower price to make a profit. The online communities are able to just like push the stock in the other direction where they're, can push the price up when the shorters expect it to go down, causing a short squeeze. All right, you can Google that to see more about it. Basically, they have to buy in back at a higher price to try to cover their positions, cover their butts. And yeah, it's causing a lot of drama because basically, number one, we've seen a lot of people just step in and try to stop this. People say, hey, we don't like this. Press pause, pause the game, right? Some of the most notable drama that just happened recently was Robinhood delisting some of these assets that are starting to pump like this from their platform, okay? We saw Wall Street Bets temporarily, to my understanding, right? You need to fact check this. I didn't get all the details, but temporarily turned off on Reddit, okay? And then also from Discord, all right? So you're starting to see deplatforming basically in the financial system, which is huge, okay? We've seen this throughout multiple areas. We've seen basically, the deplatforming that happened with Trump on Twitter and Parler from the app stores. And again, these are not political statements. I'm not weighing in on the value of this, whether these are right moves or not. I'm just calling them to your attention because they're important to understand that basically people are realizing that more and more people are realizing that there are just gatekeepers who are able to rig games against them, right? Or basically like control what they want you to see, control what they don't want you to see. And of course, it's always been that way, right? A lot of you are keen to that idea. You've seen it happen, but we're starting to see people wake up to this who are outside of the crypto ecosystem, outside of the blockchain space. And it's a great entry point for them to understand why blockchain technology is important. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. Yeah, what about American Airlines? Yeah, there's lots of other lots of other tickers that are doing this too. I want to talk about GameStop in particular because it's the one that was sort of the catalyst for this whole thing. So the reason I bring this all up is it's a really important cultural moment. All right. I see this as an inflection point. That can definitely be the catalyst for something much bigger. And so what I want to see out of this is basically people realizing that DeFi fixes a lot of this. So what do I mean by that? Because it's easy to be like hyperbolic and say, oh, DeFi is going to change the world, it's going to fix everything. But how specifically does DeFi fix this problem? Well, when you look at an app like Robinhood, for example, let's just pull it up. So, if you don't know what Robinhood is, basically it's an app that lets you just like point and click or point and tap, I would say, trade on your phone. Okay. So, Robinhood basically delisted a lot of these assets that were going crazy, right? So one way that DeFi fixes this is that there's no filter for what you can and can't trade, right? As long as an asset exists on chain, then somebody might have an app that controls what you can personally do, but at the end of the day, like it's an open system. Like somebody else could create a client that lets you do it. Like there could be market forces here that could fix this if people know there's demand. Like let's say GameStop is a GameStop derivative is like trading on chain, right? Basically, let's say one app bans it. Well, guess what? Another app can just step in and create a way for you to do that if they know the market demands it. Okay. Yeah, is there? So some people in the chat are saying that American Airlines is not on Robinhood either. Right. So there's, like I said, there's a lot to this drama. I'm trying to just focus on the GameStop stuff right now because that's what I've been personally following. But yeah, I definitely have seen that this is affecting other tickers as well. So anyways, like let's talk more about DeFi. All right. One of the big benefits of DeFi is this open permissionless system where there's no way. So another thing that's really upsetting people right now is basically people don't like the idea that whenever the big guys fail, that there's some big, basically the big guys will go to bat for themselves whenever they fail, and they won't care when you fail. Like that's sort of the ethos around this, right? That's what people are getting fed up with. That's the cultural moment that we've seen the past few years. We've seen it with a lot of the protests that have happened the past year. We see that what happened at the Capitol building here in the United States a couple weeks ago, all that kind of stuff. And we're seeing it now in this sort of financial era financial domain, where basically like there's sort of this, people perceive a double standard where, individuals can go be market participants. We can make bad trades, fail, nobody cares. But a hedge fund loses, ridiculous amount of money, and they get on the phone, you know what I mean, and call. They try to pull the strings to rig the game in their favor, right? That's what people are perceiving. I'm not necessarily saying that's what's happening and that's what I fully am on board with or endorse, but that's very much what's in the mind of the people right now. So how can DeFi fix this? Well, nobody can really crack down on an online community coordinating to hold assets, to move assets in a certain direction. I'm not trying to I'm not in favor necessarily of doing like a pump and dump scheme either. That's not what I'm talking about. But one of the big drama pieces with the Robinhood thing is basically people are saying, oh, we don't like the idea that a collective online can win against the establishment. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. So there's no establishment in DeFi is the whole point, right? Like it is the collective. People have been coordinating since the beginning of DeFi, which really was crypto, is what I would say, before we had DeFi as a word for the past 2 years or so. So we've had people coordinating online for a long time who have common goals, who are able to help one another achieve those common goals, and we've had that benefit. And there are all these people who are in the financial system right now that are sick of how it works, that are ready to experience that benefit. All right, or at least they're going to be way more open to the conversation now than they would have been 6 months ago. All right, and that's why this is such a important current cultural moment. That's why this is something that people need to understand, because at the end of the day, like I said, one of the reasons I'm doing these videos, one of the reasons I'm talking about finance, some of the news that even overlaps outside of the blockchain space, is having this understanding of the current system will really help you understand why we're building this parallel system and how it improves upon what we have now, and ultimately how that justifies the value proposition of blockchain, of DeFi, of cryptocurrencies, all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you all think down here in the stream chat below. Somebody says the tokenization of assets is an interesting topic. Yes, it definitely is. So what about Dogecoin? Yeah, so Doge has been pumping, from what I understand. So I'm not much of a gambler, but I guess if you want to get on the Doge, then yeah, there might be some opportunity there. So let's do a quick market check-in, all right? What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with Ethereum here? So, I was on the stream yesterday. Things were looking kind of ugly, at least in the short term, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin was crashing. We were wondering what's going to happen with ETH as well. So let's look at the past 24 hours. So on the last stream, we were down here, just below 30 grand. I know that was causing a lot of people to sweat. We were trying to wonder, like, hey, is this the top? Are we going down from here? So we've gotten some good relief since then, all right? I would definitely love to see this print upward, go to trend upward a little more. So one thing to think about is like what's going to happen in the monthly timeline. So I don't have a candlestick chart in front of me, but if you were looking at a candlestick chart, basically there'd be a big wick right here. If you're looking at a monthly time frame where you have the body of the candle and then you'd have the wick. So basically, like when you look at a candlestick chart, it looks like this. Oh, sorry, I keep doing this where I realize I'm not sharing my screen when I mean to. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to this new live stream software. Yeah, here you go. This is what I was trying to show you. So basically, when you look at a candlestick chart, they can be kind of confusing. So if you're brand new, you don't understand how they work, that's okay. I'll show you. So basically, like candlestick is open, high, low, close. So basically, the top of the candle would be the highest price that was in here. The bottom of the candle would be the lowest price that was in this period. And then the open and close price. Okay. So like a red candle would be it closed lower than it opened. Green candle would be it closed higher than it opened. So when you see like a red or green candle like this, it's represents the time period. So this I'm talking about like a monthly candle. So that this would be green. You'd have a wick that would say this is how high it went in the month. Basically, it's how low it went in the month. This is where it opened. This is where it closed, and the candle would be green. Okay. So if you're looking at a monthly candle for Bitcoin, this would be a pretty big wick right here, right? From this beginning point, right? So and the body of the candle would not be very fat, all right? So ideally, we want the candle to be a little bit fatter than it is to see some momentum moving onward. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So with Ethereum, let's take a look here. So yeah, it's just been chugging along. It's kind of seeing. It's honestly kind of just ranging a little bit. Let's just look here. No, it's yeah. If you zoom out a little more, 30-day. So it's like boom, boom, bounce, bounce. Hopefully we'll keep going upward. All right. So I'm not too worried in the long term. Like I said, I don't see anything that's totally fundamentally changed the outlook here. We'll see what happens. Okay, awesome. So let's go back to okay. So the other big thing to think about with this GameStop saga is the Discord ban that happened. So I haven't looked into all the details of this. I don't know if their Discord was reinstated. My understanding of the situation is basically they got deplatformed from Discord, whether it was temporarily or forever. I'm not totally sure, to tell you the truth. But that's just another thing that gets people, that they realize that, like, okay, anytime I do something you don't like, you're just gonna shut me down. Okay, so basically, so and here's where the whole censorship conversation gets tricky. Sometimes people say, hey, it's useful because we want to be able to censor things that we don't like. All right. But, no, sorry, not censor things we don't like, censor things that are truly bad for humanity. Now, I realize that people will disagree on what that is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's still going to be this cross section where it's like, something may not necessarily be bad, but it just deviates from what, the power system wants, and then they just like deplatform you. So I think that's what people are feeling there with the Discord thing. And so one sort of thesis that I've heard people talk about is basically like, open protocols and then censorship at the application layer. Okay, so this is sort of a design thesis or pattern, I would say, for maybe a best practice for like crypto. So some people say like, hey, censorship can be good because think about it, like think about if a kid uses an app, you don't necessarily want it to have like adult content available to them just everywhere, right? And so some people see the value of like censorship in that. Like it's pretty easy for people to say, yeah, we probably don't want kids like seeing that stuff. So think about it this way, like you could have an open protocol, okay, where basically there's no censorship at the protocol layer. This would be like the blockchain, the chain itself, but the client that actually connects to the protocol has the ability to censor the content that you see, all right, or censor what they have access to. Now, this censorship could be something you opt into. It could be something where you say, yes, I want to see this. No, I don't want to see this. It could be something where the app decides for you, but there are multiple apps that talk to the same protocol that could compete with one another. So if one app does something you don't like, you can just, go use a different app, or you could see a market need and there's a new business that could come out to create a new app that talks to the same protocol. So, if you have like a more Web3 type of, protocol that would allow people to coordinate online, you could have censorship in one app that talks to that protocol that says like, hey, we're going to allow them to do this. Or maybe you just turn the sort of settings on and off, and then maybe there's a different app that will or won't allow you to do this. So that's one thing to think about. And that's something that I'm interested to see kind of gain traction over time. So I'm gonna look at the look at some of the questions here in the chat. So somebody else says like censoring like scammers. Yeah, totally. That's another thing that I think that people can get behind on in cryptos. Like we want to ban scammers, right? But we could ban scammers at the application layer, but not necessarily at the protocol, right? Because at the end of the day, like, sure, would we want to ban scammers completely at however we can? I think a lot of people would say yes, but you have to think about sometimes your actions have unintended consequences, and I think that's what you have to think about in this conversation when people talk about freedom of speech, all these different types of things, where like, well, when you take action and you're trying to do one thing, it might also do something else, which gives way to something else that's bad, to something else that's bad, to something else that's bad, that makes the problem worse over time. Basically, compromising the long-term outcome in favor of a short-term relief. We got some Doge fans in the chat here. All right, let's see if we got any more questions in the chat here. So another cool thing that I saw this week is this. Let me just pull up my screen here. So here we go. Let me just all right, here we go. So we found Mark Cuban's Ethereum wallet. So check this out. So if you guys don't know who Mark Cuban is, he's a billionaire who is very super important guy who has been using Ethereum basically. So basically, I've been following this for a while, where he's been talking about some of the DeFi stuff. So yeah, Mark Cuban's been on the DeFi trail for a while, so I got a little distracted. Mark Cuban's been on the DeFi train for a while. He's been trying stuff out. He's like talked about he talked about Aave and some tweet threads that I saw. So Aave is the decentralized lending platform. So he's been using Ethereum. He's been looking into it. I mean, I don't think he's at that point where he's like, oh, Ethereum is what we need right now, all that kind of stuff. But he's definitely open, receptive, and somebody found his wallet address on chain, and he replied to it in the comments somewhere. Sorry, I don't want to put too much. I'm kind of scared to scroll through tweet threads on here because sometimes they have like super explicit stuff on there, and I don't want like YouTube to flag my channel. But yeah, he bought a rareable NFT. He's got some Aave tokens in here. 131 gram worth of Aave, staked Aave. So yeah, DeFi is definitely getting attention outside of our niche bubble. And, high profile people are seeing its potential. And I think that's one of the reasons I think it's really important to know that we're in this sort of current moment with what's happening with traditional financial system, people being fed up with the gatekeeping, with the double standards, all that kind of stuff. And, as more people like Mark Cuban are realizing we've built some really serious technology that can help people break free of that, and also, kind of have a more open access to finance, then those two things converging in the same direction are really good. So if you want to go see what tokens Mark Cuban is holding, you can see here. So other thing is, now that people know that this is Mark Cuban's wallet, here's the other thing. is they're gonna start sending him tokens. So like, if you every token on here is not necessarily like an endorsement, right? This doesn't mean Mark Cuban went out and bought these. Like if you were super analytical, you could go in and see like the transactions from the wallet and, you know, what he actually acquired versus what people just sent him. So like, I don't know that, you know, some of these like micro cap coins that he actually bought them, right? Somebody might have just sent them to him. And then so that when you get on Etherscan and go see, oh, what does Mark Cuban have? Then they want that to like pump their token on Uniswap or something. So definitely, you know. Yeah, see, hey, Mark, if that's really you, I sent you 2,000 Charger. Check it out. So Mark Cuban did not go buy Charger on Uniswap. All right, so if you got any more questions in the chat here. Yeah, smart marketing hack. Check sending him your tokens to blow it up. That's right. If you wanna launch a new token and pump it, then send it to Mark Cuban's wallet. That's totally a joke. Don't actually do that. So somebody says blockchain learning path in 2021. So go to my YouTube homepage. The pinned video is how to become a blockchain developer in 2021. I show you the exact path. All right. So inside that video, I show you the basics, like what is blockchain, why do people use it, what are some of the opportunities in blockchain right now, and then step by step, how do you jump on that opportunity? What are the programming languages you need to learn? How do you learn them? What do you do once you've learned those programming languages in order to get a job, you know, become a freelancer, build your own project, participate in DeFi, do flash loans, build trading bots, all that kind of stuff. That's one of the things I love about blockchain the most. There's so many different ways to make money with the skill. You can go get a job, you can be a freelancer, but you can also do other stuff. You can buy cryptocurrency, you can trade, you can build trading bots, do flash loans, and you know, being a developer gives you an edge and all that stuff. So let's see more questions in the chat here. So somebody says this chat is so nice and calm compared to the GME rooms. So somebody says this is a Ledger cold wallet. So it might be. Yeah, it might be a Ledger wallet. So if y'all don't know what that is, basically, Ledger is it's a hardware device you have to plug in your computer so that you can authorize transactions so that somebody can't just like, you know, log in as you, steal your private key, and then, you know, take your funds. So somebody says, I'm for sure taking your course, man. Just go through your free stuff first so I can get a much better grasp on Absorb action. Yeah, totally. I think that's a good approach. And I want to actually read you guys this testimonial that I got yesterday. Let me just pull it up. So let me share my screen here. So I'm going to hide this person's name, but so they said, hello, Gregory, I want to inform you that I found a job as a blockchain developer remote. I got the job just 1 month after the boot camp. It took me 4 months to learn blockchain. And I can tell that the blockchain bootcamp is the best thing in the internet. Thank you very much. I'm still learning and rewatching some videos in the blockchain bootcamp because my job, lots of things. Okay, so next, I'll be working on building more projects, getting GitHub stronger. It's been an honor to be through the bootcamp. 60% of the tasks I do in my job is similar to the bootcamp. So 60% of what he does is similar to the exact content that I'm teaching on this channel. And so we're just a group of blockchain developers creating projects, working interested and moving to Web3, part of the project. Thank you very much. Yeah. So people ask me all the time, can you become a blockchain developer without any programming experience? And that's exactly what happened here. Okay, so I get these messages a lot, and I like to share them with you all, mostly as encouragement, honestly, because I see so many people that are sitting on the sidelines who get interested in blockchain, get interested in cryptocurrency. Okay, let's see here. See, does the stream work now? So I had a little problem here. Sorry, everybody. But anyways, what I was saying is basically so many people are sitting on the sidelines trying to wonder like, hey, you know, can I learn blockchain with no coding experience? Is it possible? Is there a demand for somebody like me as a beginner? Okay, because that's another question is like, okay, if I learn blockchain, but I'm a beginner, do people just want like really experienced coders? They want like really advanced, like senior developers. And so no, that's not the case. Like I've helped lots of people who had no coding background, you know, just step by step, learn this, learn this, learn this, and then start applying for your job, get your first job. Now that being said, there will always be a lot to learn at your first job because the real truth is no one can 100% prepare you for your first job because every job has a certain set of special knowledge that's going to require that won't necessarily transfer from one job to another because every company has a very specific thing that they're trying to do. And some of those companies will make different technology choices. Some of them will make different just design choices and how they build their software, all that kind of stuff. So every single like first job is going to have some sort of learning to do it. And so learning to it. And that's the thing I always say is like, one of the reasons I'm a big proponent of self-learning is because at some point, if you stay in a career as a developer, you always end up on the path of self-learning, whether it's from the start or whether, you know, you get into your job, because let's say you go to a coding boot camp, or you get a computer science degree, at some point you still have to acquire specialized knowledge and teach yourself things on the job. And if you just start that way, then you'll develop that skill and you'll use it for the rest of your life. So that's what I would say. All right, everybody. So that's all I got for today. So again, this is why the GameStop crisis is such a huge deal for Ethereum, for DeFi, all that kind of stuff. It's just a matter of time until more people's eyes, you know, are open to this, that the light bulbs get turned on, that people who are feeling the pain of what's happening right now in the financial markets realize that we're building a brand new system that ameliorates some of those problems, okay? So again, one reason I talk about this stuff is so important is for you to understand like the problems that we're trying to solve. Because if you don't understand finance, if you don't understand the old world, then it's not going to really click about the problems that we're solving in blockchain right now, okay? And that was one of the reasons, like when I first got into blockchain, well, I saw potential, but sometimes I was kind of scratching my head. It's like, okay, but what about this? What about this? Well, the more I learned about finance, about what's going on in the current system, the more it makes, you know, the more the light bulbs just totally go off, okay? So as always, you know, let me know down in the comment section below if you like this new format of video. We're trying these out every day at 9:30 a.m. Central Time for a couple weeks, see if it takes off. If we like it and it sticks, we'll keep doing it. If not, just no worries, we'll go back to our regular programming. And as always, smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel. It really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. And if you want to start today, like, you know, leveling up your career, learning blockchain, it's one of the highest paid skills in tech, one of the hottest tech trends on the planet right now, then how can you get started? Like today, after watching this video. You can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses that are like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. Show you how to build your first blockchain application. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, you know, you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step by step from start to finish. Just head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.